Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just want to take a few minutes and talk about something that comes up occasionally on some groups I'm in, and that I've dealt with a little bit in the past also, and how I like to handle it. And that subject is callbacks. No matter what business you're in, if you're in a service-related business where you go to someone's house and you perform a job for them or any type of service that way, there's always a potential to get a callback. It can be, let's see, probably some of the simplest things I've had would be we did a whole bathroom remodel or something, and we get a callback because maybe the toilet seat is loose. Somebody forgot to tighten down one of the bolts on the toilet seat, or you missed a spot painting. We found a spot on this door that you didn't get. There's a number of issues you can have, all the way up to large-scale problems that can happen too, that can end up costing you days of time. It's not so much that you just work to the point where you don't get any callbacks. And I'm sure you know that being here, I push myself, my crew, everybody to work at a level where we plan on no callbacks. We spend a lot of time perfecting every job at the end. That's built into my bid so that I have enough time to actually do it properly. We talked about that in the other video on knowing your worth and knowing how to, charge what you need to actually do the job. Because if you take less money or less hours bid for a job than you need to actually complete it professionally, the odds of a callback are a lot higher because you're rushing as you complete that job. And that will end up costing you even more, because once you leave the site, returning affects your schedule, it affects other clients that you have, and it's just a whole nother set of time that you have to invest there that you didn't plan on whatsoever. So, let's say you finished a job and you've moved on and you work like we do. We're booked out 3 to 6 months all the time as a general rule. I do maintain a day or two here and there to fit in small jobs, but usually we're booked 3 to 6 months out all the time. So you're a week away from a job you just did, client calls you, they have some type of issue that's going to take you a couple hours to correct. But of course, the sky is falling, the world is ending, and all that. Every single callback I've ever had, other than, extremely minor stuff, if it's anything that is actually above a homeowner's skill level to repair that the callback is about, they're usually, I believe the hysterical part really comes from people being burned so many times by other contractors or hearing about that happening from other contractors. So they really believe that once they write you that final check, they're getting a taillight warranty, which we all know what a taillight warranty is, right? It's warranted until you can't see my taillights anymore, and then it's over. Well, you don't want to operate like that. So when you get a call like this, I had one last week, and it was actually, I assumed it was probably going to take me 2 to 3 hours to correct this, but we got called as we were headed to lunch. And the customer said, we had this major thing happen. I don't know what your schedule looks like. And of course, they're panicky about it and wonder, how soon can you get us in to go ahead and rectify this? And my answer was, give me just a minute. Let me get a hold of my afternoon job. I got a hold of my afternoon job. Remember, I'm headed to lunch. Called my afternoon job and said, hey, we had something come up, and if it's okay with y'all, can we go ahead and start your job later in the day? It was only a 3-hour job in the evening maybe. So we pushed them to 3 o'clock. We were at lunch at noon. I called the other person right straight back and said, you know what, sir? I've got my whole crew with me. We're headed to lunch. We're going to go ahead and just have a fast lunch, and we'll be right there. 45 minutes later, we were in their driveway. An hour after that, their entire problem was solved. We left there with them completely thrilled, obviously. So now To me, when you get a callback and you handle it like that, whether it's your fault, the customer's fault, whoever's fault. Now, obviously, there are some customers out there, and we'll talk about that in a future video, that are just, wow. But within reason, if it's your fault, it doesn't matter when. You go back and you correct it. Within reason, if it's lifespan of the product or whatever your warranty is, if you give a year warranty, whatever, just stand behind your labor for that long. A lot of times if material failures happen and it's a customer selected item especially, then that doesn't really count. But get in there, correct the issue, and really bring it when you come back. Full professionalism, show up, know what you're doing, get it corrected, and get out of their way. They didn't need you to come back. You're not only messing up your schedule, you're messing up their schedule too, because they're not planning on needing this done twice. That's why they hired a professional in the first place. So usually, even if it's their fault or something else, I will cover labor on a callback if I feel like I should. And that's most of the time, especially if it's a fairly recent job that we did. Most important thing to me, and y'all already know, I work 100% on referrals. If it's not a referral at this point in my business, then I'm fairly skeptical. I may go bid the job. I may just, my schedule's full. I'd rather work for my referrals. It's so much smoother of a process, both from bidding the job all the way through collecting payment and future work. It seems that if you're working for a referral, it just continues for the life of the customer, really, as long as you're turning in good work. And the amount of referrals they give you too, the whole thing just snowballs over time. So go in there, bring it, correct everything you can, explain to them what happened, especially if it was something preventable or something that they did. Maybe you didn't explain it to them before, how they needed to handle a certain product, whatever. Get them corrected and get that really good customer set up. Not every customer is going to be that way. Some of them, if they get a callback, they can be completely off the rails, and you go in, you correct it completely professionally, and you personally decide that this is the last time you're working with this client. But for the most part, people really, really are impressed when you come back and you stand behind your work. Okay? This is just my perspective on this and how I've handled it for the last 10 years or so. If you have anything you'd like to have to put in to say about that, then feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'd love to check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down there and tell me how you handle callbacks. We'll see y'all on another business video.